It happens sometimes. Still, sometimes I get like that too. You're just okay. So, when I teach this in some other classes, we talk about destroying or destruction is what I mean. This is kind of the mainstream term for it. If I want to, target your shin as you're trying to kick me, I'll do something like that, right? I'll come up and out and come into it, right? So that's a more advanced application on this. But, we're not gonna be doing that. Just from here, just boom, just pop that knee out, okay? So I'm gonna come in a kick from you, and you can have hands up on this one, okay? And you're just in your neutral base here with your feet square, right? You could be in a neutral with your feet staggered. Like here, I'm just kind of standing this, like, so let's say I'm standing square this way, right? And then I notice in my peripheral somebody coming up, boom. Now I'm in 4-point base this way, right? My hips have turned. So you kind of have some perspective on angles there, but just in a square stance. Your hands are up, right? And like you've been able to establish that, just kind of just like your guard for jiu-jitsu. So I'm gonna go to kick, and you, boom, yes, boom, yeah. See, at first when I was like, oh, right, boom, nice. I don't even want to kick you because I know it sucks, right? There's somebody, the new person in class, they don't know it sucks yet, and they come up, and that first time, boom, like I said, like Justin and I just playing with the other day, and I have super conditioned shins. We're just like, oh, ow. Right? You don't want to kick somebody in the shin. It doesn't matter who you are. So you just got to be careful with that. Like that's, just kind of some safety tips. So that's blocking the round kick to the leg. Now let's go over round kick to the body, right? Now with this, we're gonna need to go over some details on when we go to block, we're gonna block like this, okay? So, yeah, so this is gonna come up, and then this is gonna brace, right? So, like, it's gonna be here, okay? And then there it would be here, 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 okay? So that's gonna be what we're gonna start with, right? And that's just kind of like what that's gonna do is that's gonna deflect it. And in the sense that you're kind of absorbing it a little bit. Anytime that, like, if for example, throw a punch here at my face, right? If I just touch it a little bit, it loses so much steam. It's crazy. Like if I touch it before it hits me in the face, I don't really care if it glances me after that. Like it's not gonna have the power to damage. Okay, so that's something that we want to think about. If I can do that to your kick before it gets to me, that's what we're after, okay? Now, we are gonna do this from just neutral stance, and as we go through other classes, we'll add and be doing this from some different perspectives like we have been, okay? So, we're gonna be here, and just go ahead and, get with the leg back and give me a kick to the body right here. Just nice and control, good, right? One more, good, give me a kick to the body here. Good, one more. Okay. So that's what we're dealing with, right? So let's go for that again, okay? Get just your rear leg. Boom. Right there, right? So what I'm trying to do is hit that knee before the kick reaches me. Okay, go on this side. Boom. On this side. Boom. This side. Boom. Okay? So that's the defense. We're just here, 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 okay? And I'm showing it there from here. We just go hands down, boom, boom, right? They're kicking at your body. Back to this sort of analysis of what the algorithm gives you, right? Is like, in street fights, like I did see one recently on video where a guy was just like, you could tell he trained Thai boxing. It was just obliterating this guy with leg kicks. Like he had technique, the other guy didn't. Then you see people throw kicks that have no technique at all, and it's some sort of a weird front side round kick hybrid,
Right.
that sort of thing, right? Yeah, so it's like, you know, what we have to be able to craft through going through this stuff is the ability to, you know, decipher like, okay, that's kind of coming from this angle. Not it's this kick, like, you know, okay, I see from, you know, coming up from this quadrant here, like, oh, I'm gonna deal with that like a round kick, right? And that may, you know, it may look a little bit like a front kick or something crazy, right? Like, and you can plan for that once you have the techniques, right? It's like, okay, now I can adapt. Like the whole, you know, one of the core tenets of self-defense is being able to adapt, right? It's not gonna be like you want it to be in a street fight. In a real altercation, there'll be tons of stuff that happens that you're like, didn't anticipate that one. Like whatever it is, like maybe somebody pulls your hair out a little bit, like grabs a handful and like, you know, gets a little handful of it, pulls it out. Maybe, you know, maybe you break a bone or nose or finger or toe or something crazy, you know? So you just never know. It could be minor, but it's like those sort of things are like, oh, we're gonna do these techniques and they're gonna do this. And then you don't account for like damage, how tired you get, right? So we wanna be able to process those things because, and you know, okay, I'm not, you know, not having to put all this energy into my jiu-jitsu techniques. I'm defending myself. That's the whole goal. It's not resuscitation of techniques, okay? Recitation of techniques. So round kicks to the body. I'm gonna go on those with you, but I want to do with the padded sticks first, and then we'll do with the shins. Okay.
And are you shrugging whenever you're doing
this?
No.
What? Bring your chin halfway to your shoulder, and your shoulder halfway to your chin. Okay. So here. All right. So here. Yeah. Okay. Boom. And boom. Let me get that hand just too. All right. Remember, just kind of like, hey, can I? Like you haven't. It's the intermediary to bringing your hands up. Okay. We'll talk about this in a couple classes, like the front kick defense. Like I'm here, boom, just like that. Okay. So here it's like my next move is going to be this, but we have to like it's for every part of that little tunnel, right? I'm here. I'm not trying to fight right now. Like, am I going to have to fight? It looks like I'm going to have to fight. I'm about to fight. I am fighting, right? If I have to do this, I am fighting, right? Everything else is like, it looks like I might have to, and then that's what we're doing. It's like a little continuum. So let's go back with this. Blocking, boom. Good, okay? That's the core idea. And look, that's just the you know, the first movement. Like what we do after that is we catch, okay? So let's go over that real quick, but block on my shins a couple of times, and what I'm wanting you to do is try and touch my leg before the kick gets around. Boom. Yes. Boom. Yeah, if it like there, you hit my knee before my shin hits you, right? Like what's going to be bad is if you don't hit my knee at all and my shin buries in there, right, into your body a little bit, okay? So what we're trying to do is before, you know, that shin gets to my body, boom, knee. We're going to touch that knee first, okay? Boom. Yes. That's it. That's it, okay?
Are you adding weight into it, or are you just walking it?
You know, yes. Like at this point, we're just absorbing,
Okay.
right? And now, what we're gonna do is like when we go, next class we'll go in with some of the hands up, right? And you'll see that like when my hands are up and I do this, it's a little different, right? What'll happen is like this, okay? If I had the opportunity to go my hands up, we'll do this. Just like, you know, we do go punch, just like that, right? We talked about deflecting with the forearms against the front kick, like that, okay? So, you know, again, we'll explore this further, but good questions. So when we go with this front kick to the body, or the round kick to the body rather today, we're also doing this for a specific takedown. right? So in this program, you get some sequences that, like I taught one of them in noon class the other day. Hip throw, which I haven't done this in this class yet, but in this program. We did hip throw, knee on belly, figure four arm. It was a sequence. Today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do round kick defense. It's a single leg takedown, right? And then we're gonna finish with the figure four ankle lock, okay? So what we're looking to do here is I'm gonna catch this, right? So give me a kick to the body, go ahead. Hold it like this, right? Now we're doing that off of this deflection, okay? Now, with this, okay, go ahead. Okay, so I'm moving quickly from here to here. That's all I've got time to do is kind of the idea. I wasn't in a mobile base. So once I'm here, because of where I was focused at, being here, right, here. Now, what I have to do is turn directly towards the camera here, right? So, like, a lot of times people like step in and step back. The main thing I want to do is like good connection here to my body and then turn. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna be between the legs. And just like when we do the tug of war drill with the belt, right? We see this also on the knee bar that we saw from the pickup defense last class, right? We're gonna turn with that. Now I wanna keep this figure four grip here, and I turn, and this is all, see this, my hip here is gonna be what shears that lock, okay? Now, I'm just bracing here on your thigh, right? Like that, okay? So, what you're doing is you're catching, right? And then I'm like that, okay? Now from there, all you're gonna do is once you have this, is you're gonna turn. When you turn like that, like, so look here, if I'm in a square base here, and I turn, now I'm in like more of my 4-point base. But it's that very offensive / defensive, like, okay, I'm in defensive posture and I'm executing techniques from my stance, right? So with this, that'd be like on the tug of war drill with the belt, or what you see from the side clinch, is that you have to turn your knee in to maintain base. So that's what you're gonna do here, but it's not just to maintain base, it's also to add the hip to leverage the lock. Look at when I turn on that, like I got the leg here, when I turn here, my hip's coming up under me all at once, okay? And my foot will be into the mat here, and this will be bracing against the thigh, okay? So let's go ahead and catch the round kick to the body, right? And do it this way. We'll just do the same side. Block, block, and then on that third time, catch it, and we'll do a couple of catches, and then that we'll do, on that third time we'll do turn and take down. If you have everything in order, as soon as you turn, you went down, right? Like it's just there's no slack there. You just and you turn. You connect them to you, and you turn, they will go down. Okay, so here and good, 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 nice. Yeah, and then grab your own wrist. Okay, good, and let go of that. That's a figure four grip. Okay, and block and grab again. Good, and it's right there. Good. Now, block, grab, and you're gonna turn your hips straight to the back of the room. Okay, block, grab. Yes, okay. Turn your hips that way now, and brace your knee against my thigh, and then bring your hips into, connect your elbows tight, yes, and then hips forward. Yes. You made a good adjustment. You need to be all the way at the end of the foot, and you kind of pulled that slack out, right? So lay down, please. So you can kind of explore this, and I've heard this talked about, and I read it in a book recently, right? It's a older, like a Gracie submission book, right? But talking about that when you go down on this, it's like this little sequence, like one of the fundamental in history of jiu-jitsu self-defense sequences, right? So when they fall down, I can kind of take that slack out a little bit if I need to, right? But if it's your first time seeing it, harder to do all of that on the first try, right? But like here, you're gripping, and we want to here, and look how, I don't want my heel on the mat. What I'm doing is I'm bracing, and I'm turning, and I'm driving, and anchoring to you, right? So I'm connected there, right? So think about it as like, you know, sometimes you'll see this shown this way, right? And that'll make you almost turn belly down to preserve, right? But with here, we're just remaining standing, boom. Figure 4 straight ankle lock, okay? Super beginner, even in the sport of jiu-jitsu, the tournaments, that move is legal. All of the other leg locks are not legal for white belts, right? Knee bars, toe holds, heel hooks, you know, and straight ankle lock, good to go, good to go. So, catch it, wrap it, turn. Knee on the thigh, more on the back of my thigh, yes. And turn. When you do that, really drive with your foot on the mat. Hips. Yes. You start dragging me across the floor when you did that. Right? I'm like my hips just subtly shifted. It's like you were more connected to me. So again, just figure 4 lock that again. Okay? So, look, elbows tight to yourself. Yes. Now, everything stays right there. I want you to think about opening your chest and hips and turning that knee. Better.